My name is Daniel, computer scientist by background, and CEO and founder of Aicura Medical. And we help biopharma to transform the drug development for neurodegenerative diseases dramatically, especially focused on accelerating clinical trials to deliver efficiency, success, and better patient care. What is the current situation? 99% of the clinical trials fail in the NDD field, and biopharma especially, is not able and struggles to harness the potential of data and AI to drive innovation and to increase efficiency. Why? Because of the reasons that we all know, fragmentation of data, high costs, complexity of clinical questions to answer. The solution is the Aicura platform, bringing two components into account. One component is the data layer that integrates into all kinds of data silos or data platforms, integration platforms, to provide multimodal, harmonized, normalized data. And the AI engine providing a set of tools from machine learning algorithms to pre-trained multimodal models. And that makes the implementation of so-called AI systems possible that covers all kinds of clinical questions that you would like to answer. How is it possible? We have access to more than 9,000 patient years data in the NDD field, including treatment response. More than 25,000 data sets with imaging studies and more than 250,000 observations. We have implemented unique AI systems for different kinds of use cases, from treatment response predictions to diagnosis progression predictions to IR risk predictions. Everybody knows it if you have a look into Alzheimer's treatments right now. And we have very strong partnerships, especially in the NDD field, and we founded a network together with biopharma companies in Europe, together with meta companies and consultancy companies. We are currently in the growth phase. That means we try to convince and negotiate contracts with other biopharma companies to jump into our ecosystem to increase, at the end, the data access, independent if it is proprietary data or open data. And our business model is very simple at the end, because from early stage biotech companies to pharma companies, we have to convince that the barrier that they have to take is very low based on our subscription model. And we cover with that subscription model the first phases, R&D and validation, and the commercialization will be done profit share and royalties.
Okay, and as promised?
Perfect.
We have to stop there. Now we go for the 2 minutes for questions. Reminder, please introduce yourself and make the questions as brief as possible. Have any takers? And if not, they can always...
Absolute. Absolute.
Here we go. We have a question over here to the right.
Hi, Pablo Prieto from CG Health Ventures. Can you summarize the ask?
The ask, we are looking for partners, customers, and investors to support our growth phase. That means capital to widen our marketing and sales activities. How much? 5 million. Good.
Well, we still have a minute, so you can use up the full minute, or...
Oh. Then maybe I can finalize the last slide, because we have all the necessary expertise in the team, from medical to infrastructure, software development, deep learning. We have strong cooperations with Max Planck Institute as well, Fraunhofer. And the network Sphinx is open for everybody, especially we have in our network Roche, Novartis, Bayer, MSD, Johnson & Johnson, Janssen. So very strong partnerships in our ecosystem that helps us to deliver and to expand in our network. Okay.
Here we go.
Here we go.
Round of applause, everybody.
Thank you.
Whoa. Thank you. Second pitch, Patrick Gunta, co-founder and CEO, Aimed Analytics. Welcome. There you go. Thanks.
Hi, my name is Patrick Günther. I'm CEO and co-founder of Aimed Analytics, and we are changing the way of how omics data is analyzed. Small and medium pharmaceutical companies have a common problem. They need to innovate fast, and they need to innovate at a low cost. Omics data in this regard is a huge opportunity, as it allows to cut cost of drug development by up to 20%. It is recognized as a key for personalized medicine. And in addition to that, the data generation is currently exploding. However, companies are actually facing challenges when unlocking the data's value.
Biorce.
So when pharma executives are asked what are the biggest hurdles for your integration of this, they are referencing to lack of integrated data sources, finding the right talent, and infrastructure challenges. We're mainly solving those two because we have developed a self-service data analytics platform for omics data. This is a one-of-its-kind data analytics platform because it allows everyone to analyze complex omics data. So how does that work? You simply upload the data on the system, you ask a question in natural language, and our system defines every step that needs to be done in order to answer those questions. In addition to that, it also helps to explain the results, and with this enabling researcher to faster move from generating data to actionable insights. Next to this, our system is not only quick to set up, but also generates insights faster at a lower cost than comparable solutions. But the biggest advantage is that the autonomy is kept for the researcher who are generating the data. The omics data analytics market is currently valued at $4 billion, but there's a huge opportunity for growth, mainly pushed by developments in personalized medicine and drug discovery. Our first target customers are CROs, sequencing providers, biotech, and SME pharma, because they all have a common problem. They need to innovate efficiently at low cost, and omics data is a huge opportunity, and we're providing them the access to using the full power of omics data. We have an MVP ready, testing with pilot customers at the moment, and we're looking for more pilot customers. So if you're an interested CRO, biotech, or pharma, I'm happy to talk later. If you are a seed investor investing in AI-driven TechBio startups, I'm happy to get in touch. And with this, I'm ready to get questions, so thank you very much.
Hello, Cristina Paez from Shartech Salud. I would like to know more about your competitors, if you have any competitors.
Yeah. So there are companies who promise to analyze omics data. So I just put the most famous one, maybe Partech, which has been recently acquired by Illumina, further pushing of how to use genomics data. So at the moment, we're focusing on transcriptomics data, but the goal is to add layer for layer of the omics layer to make a full picture and provide the full functionality here. And maybe as a USP is our system is designed so that everyone can use it, basically in the R&D field. Every researcher can use it, and you don't basically need to special training. So the data access is key for us.
Hi.
Hi.
Cedric Auger from the Biopharma Innovation Fund. Quick question. You focus mainly on the analysis, but what about the curation process? Are you helping on that part or focusing mainly on the analysis?
Creation of the data itself? No, at the moment we're mainly focusing on basically unlocking the value of the data once it's generated. So especially for SME pharma, there is a huge amount of data already out there, public data, which can help them to push their drug discovery, early drug discovery, but they don't have access to that. So that's what we are mainly starting to focus at the moment. Yeah.
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hi, Giovanni Rizzo from Indeco Venture Partners and
I'm
Investing.
sorry, I'm going to have to stop you right there because there's really no time left. Clock is out now. If you would like to ask a question, you can ask it outside.
I will get back to you
Sorry.
later.
Have to be very strict. I apologize ahead of time. Nothing personal. Next up, Pedro Coelho, founder and CEO of Biorce. Just 3 minutes and then 2 for the questions, okay?
Thank you. I'll try not to bore you guys to death. Welcome, I'm Pedro, founder and CEO of Biorce. Biorce is setting out, I guess, with a very broken slide, which is going to be a very fun slide deck. So no slides for you today, I guess, so we start with that. With the broken slide deck, we start with the why, which is actually why we should be all here anyway, and that's part of my story. I lost my father to cancer 2.5 years ago, and that led me to sell the CRO I was running at the time, to create a tech company and try to break what is a very broken space of clinical trials. Now, usually the slide next would tell you that $22 billion is what it takes to bring a molecule to market today. And that is not only a very broken number, but also a broken number because about 48% of that value goes to clinical trials itself. And that would also be a very broken number to tell you. But beyond that is the fact that from that 22 billion and 48%, a lot of the reason why that value is so high is due to something called protocol amendments. Now, protocol amendments are roughly valued at about a 4 million opportunity cost per each protocol amendment. And beyond that, the fact that it takes 3 to 4 months in time to conduct each or single one of them means that every pharma spends about 42% in protocol amendments white space while they are developing a new drug. That, again, would be a very problematic issue to have, but it would be even more problematic if about 86% of those amendments would have been avoidable in the first place, and I guess we did nothing about it. So Biorce is set out to build a platform that is trying to use multimodality approach to not only mitigate these problems, but as I usually tell to our clients, we are in the business of avoiding the mistakes you don't know you will make eventually. Now, we believe that this is a $22+ billion market, and we are starting to commercialize this product already. We went to 100 MAUs in the very first 6 weeks of development and live beta with the product. We are now in a few different POCs across a few different pharma and deploying this model live with a multimodality approach, as I said earlier. To that, we developed the first model of this modality approach, which is a language model trained on 504,000 clinical trials worldwide, which represents about 100% of the trials in the past 24 years. This language model behaves as a research assistant for any of you to be able to look at insights, data points, anywhere, anytime, and it's able to already support workforces in tasks that can take a minimum 13 hours and up to multiple days to conduct each and single one of them. I think I have about 30 seconds left at this point, and hopefully, should I try the slides again? Oh, there we go. We have a problem slide deck now. How are we on time? Am I given more time or not really? Not really. OK. Then we'll go quickly through this. I mean, this is all the data sets I was telling you by memory anyhow. Clearly shows how much I've done this before. Anyhow, as I was telling you just now, Jarvis is our language model, and trying to get back on time. I know you'll write me off quickly. Language model trained on 500,000 clinical trials. Mark, a protocol design tool that will enhance protocols and help building them in the very first place in the right way from the first go. And Friday, a product that will eventually build feasibility automated in a single way. Before Pablo over there asks me our ask, we raised money 2 months ago, so we are not necessarily fundraising, but obviously looking to partner with pharma companies at any time, anywhere. Thank you all, and thank you very much.
We'll see if anybody asks a question. Maybe the first question will be, can we see the rest of your slides?
I'm happy to send it to you guys.
Hi, Roel Dekkers, Next Gen Ventures. So you mentioned you're now in proof of concept phase with a couple of customers. What will you demonstrate? How will you convince them of your value?
The big value for the platform overall is to reduce drug development by 50%. So that's what we are trying to prove with every single client we work with, and nothing less than that at this point.
And are you able to demonstrate that in the proof in that phase?
Absolutely, yes.
Oh.
Please, Pablo, don't ask me about our ask. Meanwhile, I'll skip slides so you guys can see some other stuff in the process.
Thanks, Pedro. Out of the initial engagement that you have, how much of that is Mark, Jarvis, and Friday?
So far, it's mainly Jarvis, which is the product that is live in commercial with a second version of the product already developed. And we are obviously building POCs with the other two products that are in development still. So most of the commercial traction is language model-based still. Yeah, absolutely. No other questions? I'll quickly skip through this. I'll just highlight our team that is ex-Microsoft, ex-Ipsen, and also ex-Porsche. So a very well-diversified team in terms of operators that were able to get together to build this team and this project together. Thank you, everyone, and sorry for the slides hiccup.
Thank you. Okay, next up, Enrique Givert, CEO of Pharmacelera. Hi.
Oops. All right. So, good afternoon. My name is Enrique Givert, and I am the CEO of Pharmacelera. Drug discovery is hard. Drug discovery is tough. In fact, the first generation of artificial intelligence drug discovery companies has fallen short with respect to the expectations. Why? Because there has been a lack of novelty. The molecules provided by these systems have not surprised the chemists. This has been because we have used oversimplified algorithms that do not model molecular interactions, complex molecular interactions properly. We have been mining a tiny chemical space in the few million of potential molecules, whereas the chemical space is expected to be like 10 to the 60. And last but not least, we have been using machine learning algorithms designed for repetitiveness, image processing, for a problem that requires creativity and novelty. This is why now the industry is shifting and paying special attention to physics-based simulations. Coupling artificial intelligence with deep physics will move drug discovery to an unprecedented scale and accuracy for complex targets. In this space, we have developed a proprietary molecular modeling engine called Qureight that models molecular interactions properly and sits on three technology pillars. First, accurate quantum mechanics algorithms that describe molecular interactions at the atomic and subatomic level. Next, we describe the hydrophobic profile of a molecule that is a key parameter for novelty and diversity. And last but not least, scalable artificial intelligence algorithms to mine an exponentially growing and unexplored chemical space. The proof: users of the technology have shown that we encounter 3 times better molecules, 1,000 times faster than current solutions. At Pharmacelera, we have raised 6 million euros, and we have incorporated General Inception, a company igniter from San Francisco, as a strategic shareholder. This has allowed us to build a multidisciplinary team covering the different aspects of the drug discovery process, engineers on HPC, on high-performance computing and artificial intelligence, together with drug hunters and advisors from one of our competitors. We have extensively validated our technology with users, showing the superiority of our algorithms, and we have repeating customers in the US and Europe, including big pharmaceutical companies. Last but not least, with General Inception, we have spun out our first biotech company in the US called Gaudi Therapeutics. Right now, we're looking for 5 million euros in exchange of equity in order to foster our business development strategy in the US and to extend the applicability of our Qureight engine to key areas of growth. This will enable us to boost sales, recurrent sales by 12x and become ready for an acquisition in 5 years by either a big software player or a big CRO. Here you can see some of the exit stories in this field in the last 2 or 3 years. I would like to highlight this one. OpenAI was bought for 500 million by Cadence 2 years ago, and we do have extensive comparisons against the algorithms from OpenAI. So if you want to learn more, if you want to become a Pharmacelerian, don't hesitate to contact me or reach me at our booth. Thank you very much.
Okay, a little bit under 2 minutes now for the questions. See some hands raised. I will let you.
There's no
Hello.
mic.
Thanks for the presentation. I'm Estelle from Speed Invest. You mentioned that you encounter molecules that are 3 times better. Can you maybe elaborate on what you mean by 3 times better?
Yeah, we have applied our technology in retrospective studies, okay, in which the community knows which molecules are active and which molecules are not, okay, and we have also applied these in prospective studies in which we have applied our technology and we have tested the molecules experimentally, both, okay. We have done these comparisons internally and with users.
Okay, and just another question on the fundraising. So you mentioned that you have a spin-out biotech. So is the fundraising only for Pharmacelera, or does it also go to the spin-outs?
It's mainly for Pharmacelera, okay? We are working with General Inception on a fundraising strategy for Gaudi Therapeutics.
Okay, clear, thanks.
I'm a man of my word.
Just if there is time. Check before.
Oh, sorry. No, you have 20 seconds.
20 seconds.
Make it quick.
So two quick questions. One is you talk about difficult targets. Can you explain what it is exactly? Undruggable proteins or what it is? The second one, are you working only on small molecules and also
we are working on small molecules. No, we are working on small molecules, okay? And although the technology can be applied quite transversally, okay? We have had several success stories in the GPCR space, okay? In complex GPCRs with socioptares.
Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
Round of applause, please. Thank you. Gracias. It's for you. And next up, Irina de Souza Moreira, co-founder, Purr.ai.
So at Purr.ai, we are making a new way to deliver molecules to the brain, and that allows us to unlock new potential therapies for neurological disorders such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson. We know now that we can live until 90, but a longer life that doesn't mean a healthy life. In fact, we are seeing an increase in the prevalence of neurological disorders that are increasing the gap between health and lifespan. So our mission is to close that gap by providing targeted therapies quickly, safely, and efficiently. So we know that 2 out of every 5 people in this room at the age of 65 will have at least one of these disorders. And until now, there is a lack of therapeutic approach, as more than 98% of all drugs fail to cross the blood-brain barrier. And as such, the brain continues to be a mystery to us. This creates a $1 million, $3 million healthcare crisis. So at Purr.ai, we developed our platform, Ageless, that allows us to make a breakthrough in the field. Our core model is B3Pass, a model that allows you to use generative AI to create new peptides that can cross into the brain. These peptides were delivered precision designed to be specific for diseases and targets, and so they are used as a good way to scale and save therapeutics. So this is part of a big platform, Ageless, and Ageless allows us to identify compounds that are more likely to be successful in a very quick way, and so it reduces the risk and it reduces the costs, facilitating an early entry into the market. Our model is a B2B, in which you focus on fostering AI licensing our peptides to CROs, biotech, and pharma companies. We are also creating a model in which we can partnership and provide drug discovery services in which we can ask for revenue at the moment. In the future, we envision that our software can be released as software as a service. So neurotherapeutics is booming. The AI-driven discovery market is also achieving almost $15 million in a few years. And we know that just 1% of an increase in success rate can generate billions and be attractive for investors. We are just creating our company, but we already have a non-dilutive funding of $400K, and we ensure partnerships with the European Space Agency and the NVIDIA Inception programs. So against generalist approach, we are focused on a specific set of targets that are very important for these kind of diseases. We developed curated intelligence, proprietary algorithms with superior performance, and our modular platform can be used as an end-to-end or as a segmentation of tools. So our founders, in which I'm included, are experts in different areas, in AI drug discovery projects, genomics and biotechnology, and in scaling million-dollar enterprises. We have published more than 85 publications and secured funding.
Okay, sorry, Irina, we're going to have to go on to the question session, last 2 minutes, okay?
Yes, thank you.
Got plenty of time.
Hi. Okay, that's very good. So thank you very much. So a question about what actually do you do? You make a comparison with peptide that they cross the blood-brain barrier, or do you actually calculate the physics of the blood-brain barrier to, to set up, to design the molecules?
So we use all available data on non-peptides that cross the blood-brain barrier, and we use physical-based and also information from toxicity and everything else.
So you design by analogy with peptide that they cross the blood-brain barrier?
Well, we predicted that they cross, and now we use generative AI to create and modify the peptides, and we are now evaluating some of them.
Thank you.
Hi, Antonio from Asabis. Quick question. Is the molecule the therapeutic itself, or is just a way to then tag something else that will go to the brain? And secondly, very shortly, why do you use all this data, transcriptomics data, to then build the peptide? I'm missing that link. Thank you.
Okay. So the peptide is the molecule that is going to be delivered and act as a pharmaceutical drug. And you use all this kind of data because we are focusing on protein-protein interactions, so we want to inhibit this kind of interactions, in particular GPCRs. And so we use all this kind of information not only to create these peptides, but to make them good enough to disrupt precise targets. And so B3PASS is just our initial model we are developing. We have another ones as POCs at the moment.
That's all the time we have for now. Thank you very much. Big round of applause, please, for Irina.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you very much.
And last but not least, Muhunthan Thillai from Qureight.
Thank you very much. So we are, sorry, it's a bit loud. We are Qureight, based in Cambridge in the UK. We are redefining precision medicine. What does that mean? So everybody's talking about AI and drugs. How do you develop the next drug through AI? That's not what we're interested in. We're interested in a different question. How do you use AI to go from a drug in 10 patients in a phase 1 to a phase 2 to a phase 3 to an FDA-approved drug? We believe that process, and you've heard about that process before, is ripe for disruption. We're only interested in lung and heart diseases because that's our background, as I'll show you, but by every single metric, lung plus heart is bigger than all cancer combined. We work by taking data from hospitals, trials and CROs, putting all the data in one place on our platform, and our platform syncs with pharma, CROs and hospitals and helps the clinical trial process, as I'll show you. So we're a team of 25. 3 years ago, we were just 2, and now somehow we have 25 people. The key experts, I'm a physician by training. I still spend 1 day a week in our hospitals in Cambridge in lung diseases, but we've built a really exciting team. Simon used to be a professor of machine learning at Imperial College. He had 25 students and postdocs. He gave it up to be our full-time chief scientific officer about 6 months ago. Stephen used to be head of R&D at CMR Surgical, which is a big surgical robotics company. He left to come to us. And Darren, who's been on the journey for the last couple of years since we started, Darren was head of platform at Hewlett-Packard worldwide, so he runs our platform. So here's the problem. Roche spent 1.3 billion on ProMedia. It was a drug in lung fibrosis. Lung fibrosis is one of our first 3 diseases, along with pulmonary hypertension and lung cancer. They took a small data set. They spent up to 200 million to run a phase 3 study, and the study failed. And the study might have failed anyway, but when you go back and look at the original data, and when you mine the original data, there were signals in the data to suggest that when you go from phase 2 to phase 3, which is where these things fail, there may have been slightly more risk than Roche were anticipating. So here's our platform, cloud-based. fully compliant worldwide for clinical trials. And as I said, it syncs with pharma and CROs. If you're someone in a CRO collecting patients, you have a particular view. If you're someone in a pharma company and you've done an interim analysis or you've ended an analysis, you have a view. And if you're a machine learning scientist, you have a view that allows you to build imaging models at the moment using quite advanced imaging technology to build models that help speed up trials. So the data's in one place. What does that allow us to do? It allows us to build products quite rapidly. So we have 3 products at the moment. AI Lung, which we published on all year in various scientific papers, structures the lung in 3D ways, structures airways, blood vessels, volumes, and scar tissue, and correlates that with diseases, and is now being deployed as endpoints in trials in the US and Europe. Digital twins, so on our first disease, IPF.
Sorry, we got to stop you right there.
Thank you.
Time's up for the presentation.
I'll stay on this slide.
2 minutes for questions. Hey.
Hi, Giovanni from Indigo Venture Partners. Are you checking just biomarkers that are validated for as a primary endpoint of the studies, or also new endpoints?
So new endpoints. So the platform can develop new endpoints. And so part of our funding round, we raised 7 million recently. So we're not raising any money at the moment. But the ask is, if there are any new investors for our next round, albeit the drinks from 8 o'clock onwards, part of that is discussions with the FDA validating these novel biomarkers for future clinical trials.
Do you have any case study that maybe we can speak offline, but just want to understand if you can use your platform for inclusion criteria?
Yeah, so our biggest product is something called Central Read, which uses image-based for inclusion criteria. We've just signed a 3-year agreement with AstraZeneca to run a series of studies. We've just deployed the platform in a 500-patient phase 2 study, specifically for inclusion criteria for a specific asset they have. Thanks. I'll be at the booth for a bit, and then, as I said, drinks at 8 o'clock. If anyone's there, I'll be wearing the same blazer. Thank you.
Thank you.